anyone you know in a community who's supposed to be here. All right, so I think we are live on Facebook now. Yes, like I said, good evening to you. Please let us know where you're joining us from in 1 second. Let me activate everyone to be able to chat. Okay. Okay, so everyone can chat now on the chat box. Those of us on Facebook, good to have you as well. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get started immediately, but just giving every other person a bit of time to join us today. Let us know where you're joining in from. Type your location, just so that we can keep track of who is live on the conversation. Sewa, thank you so much for joining us as well. Yes, Abimbola is joining us from Lagos. Good to have you, Abimbola. Who else is on the conversation? The Gauze is a regular attendee from Uyo. GR Police is here. I know those are familiar names. Mohammed Ahmed is here. From Adamawa State, good to have you. Abdul Karim Aliyu from Abuja, good to have you. Yes, I'm excited to see return participants. I see Paul from Zaria. Good to have you, Paul. Yes, and hope you guys remember that we have a weekly giveaway for attendees, for the newbie attendees. Every week we're going to be giving away, 20 people will stand a chance to get some gift card rewards. Last week, winners have been compiled. We are still going to send out the results shortly on Telegram. Benjamin from Abuja, thank you so much for joining us. Chidubem from, is it Jake or Jackie? Good to have you as well. Yes, we'll get started shortly. Just let us keep those messages coming in. Share this link with your friends on Facebook as well. Please share so that we can get maximum the attention of many people online. Yes, and we'll get started shortly. I recall that last time we discussed a whole lot around getting started. Just because of the people who are joining us for the first time, we might do a quick run through on how to get started with Binance, and then we'll go on the next topic, which is about understanding the interface. Osewa, could you test your mic to see if it's working?
Hi, everybody.
Hello. I see Osewa. Osewa is one of the angels from Binance Nigeria. My Kazim as well. Kazim is also another very senior angel at Binance community in Nigeria. Thank you all so much for joining us as well. There goes, I'll check your message shortly. I see your message. Okay, so we'll start at exactly, Simon says knock knock. Who's there? Simon who? Good to have you on the call as well. Somebody's eyeing my cap. who knows, you might win a mesh in our Telegram community shortly. We are still expecting some swags to come in, and then we'll start giving away to community members. So do well to join the community as well. Kazim, do you want to test your mic as well?
Yeah, good evening, boss. I'm here. Can you hear me, please?
Hey, yes, I can hear you clearly. Good to have you on the call.
Yeah, pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Sure. So we expect a lot more, team members to join. We expect a lot more angels to join as well. As they come in, we'll introduce them, and we'll go from there. Today's session is not going to be too long. It won't last too long. We tend to keep it very short and do the giveaways. So I'm going to throw out the form again for early joiners. Those of you who always join early, you're the ones who's going to get the opportunity to win in the gift card campaign. So before we send out the forms, remember the tax, right? The tax for the campaign is you must be live on the call to get the form. We don't share this form any other place. Also, you must join our Telegram channel, Binance Nigeria. If you're yet to join the Telegram channel, please join. It's very important. We cross-check winners' details before we select our winners, right? And then we also, you must complete KYC. You should have completed KYC if you're on the form or if you're looking to participate from the giveaway. And then you must make a minimum deposit, of 5,000 Naira fiat, NGN deposit using CashLink. You must make that deposit. That's one of the solid criteria, to be able to be part of the giveaways. And then you complete the form. So once you complete the form, make sure you complete the first 4 criteria. Join the Telegram community, complete your KYC, and deposit at least 5,000 Naira, between now and the next 7 days using CashLink for you to be able to get this giveaway. This giveaway is specially put together by the CashLink team just to support the product awareness in the Nigeria community. All right, so I hope we all got the criteria to participate in the giveaways. And if we all did, then I think we can proceed to the slides to have a quick brief of what we're talking about today. And then we would get straight to live demonstrations, right? So 1 second. Let me just be sure I have everything good to go. Okay, so yes, let me share my screen. And if you can see my screen, just let me know.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead. So the Newbie walkthrough is one of our consistent efforts, at driving product awareness, helping our new users settle into the system, and trying our best to see that, our solutions are rightly used. We also give some form of guidance to make sure that the users don't get scammed and don't take risky trade actions, right? So feel free at all times to be a part of this conversation. Every week we'll try to discuss something new, something different from what we did last week. So last week we focused a whole lot on how to sign up, how to complete KYC and everything. This week we're going to focus on the interface, the Binance interface. We're going to explain what every item or every feature on the interface mean. Very picture of what to expect as a Binance user. All right, so I'll be skipping through a whole lot of this because we should know the fundamentals of blockchain. I'll be going straight to a little around Binance. Now, what then is Binance? Binance is the exchange organizing this Newbie walkthrough. So Binance is the world's leading blockchain and cryptocurrency infrastructure, provider across the globe, right? The world's leading blockchain and cryptocurrency infrastructure provider. Binance has moved from position 10 to position 1, and we did this in record time of 165 days, approximately 5 months. And ranking in terms of trade volume as an exchange, Binance moved to the first position in just 5 months. Binance has a consistent liquidity system of about 50% of all market volume on the majority listings, right? Binance has about $6 billion spot trading volumes on an average, right? And Binance's ecosystem has grown very, very well. Binance, as at July last year, Binance ecosystem, as you can see, appears to be very big. You can see Trust Wallet, in place. You can see CoinMarket. You can see the BNB chain built out. You can see the BUSD stable coin, built out and backed. You can see Binance Pay products, the seamless way to transact without fear of, having, external regulatory issues. So, we have Binance widgets, we have Binance broker system, we have, Binance Connect. A whole lot of products have been built out in just a 1-year period. And the generic mission at Binance is to make things cheaper, to make things faster, and to make, transactions safer. So once you come on Binance, you're expecting, once you stay on the Binance ecosystem, you're expecting to have cheaper fees, faster transactions, and a safer, environment to trade. So very quickly, how to register on Binance. I would allow Osewa to take us through the slides. I'll just, display the slide and allow him to take it. Osewa, do you want to go ahead?
Okay, that's all right. Good evening, everyone. Again, I'm Oshawa, one of Binance Angels, Nigeria, and I'll just would walk everybody through this evening on how to register on Binance. So normally you should know that before you can register on any app, you need a valid email address. You could also, see from the slides here that you can also, however, use Google and other options. Also, you could also use your phone number as well. And from the arrow, the red arrow showing, you can see register, which is basically self-explanatory. When you click on register, then, so Ben, you would help me navigate.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So when you click on the register, this is what you'd see. You see the drop down of the email, the password, and you have to sort of create your account. And if you have a referral ID, and I think I did this when I started with Binance, I had to refer people, more than I think 10 people, and I actually got some incentives, which was nice. And the best thing about this is the more those other people trade and they perform some sort of transactions, you sort of like get some rewards as regards that. So it's actually a very good one. So you could use the referral option. You could refer your family and friends, your co-workers, and lots more. And this is a drop down at the left hand side, and when you click on create, you get a notification. This is, I think we're all familiar with this. And when you click that, there's an email that is sent to your inbox. So you have to check for that and input the activation code that is sent to your email address. Then you impute that, which is also self-explanatory. Ben, the next slide, please. And yes, after that, I think this is just the helpful tips and advice. If you haven't received the email verification yet, this is also a normal troubleshooting when it comes to email address, email or messages check. You have to check your spam or junk folder as well. And if you still have issues as regarding that, you could contact the live chat support. And I would tell you guys today that the live support is, very fast and reliable, because I could remember some days back I had an issue with something on the app, and when I sent, it's been a while since I used it, but when I sent a message, it was the bot that was trying to chat with me, but I requested I needed to chat with with a person, and it was fast, and the agent was also very, very helpful. And the last point there is where you have to do your KYC. So KYC is basically know your customers, where I know this is not the first time you would see this, obviously, because if you'd want to sort of even open a bank account, normal bank with your GT bank account, they would however ask you for your driver's license or your NEPA bills and all of that. So it's sort of like a KYC. So Binance also asks for that also. So you could use your passport, your ID card or driver's license, and also just for them, the system to authenticate you as the owner of the app, you have to take a selfie of your headshot. So so it means that your KYC, which has been provided, is matching the person that is actually doing all of that, just to verify. So how to verify your identity. So there's an avatar at the, I think, left top corner of the app or of the web, which is if you're using web or app, you would always see it at the top, which it's just an avatar showing an individual in a circle. So it's sort of, that's you. So you can click on that, and you can click on identification. Yep. And when you click on identification, then it's going to take you to where you get everything verified, which is your identity verification. Your identity verification is literally you verifying your personal details. And with this, like I said, there are some options. Can we go back, Ben? Sorry. Okay, so there are some options there when it comes to your personal details. Do we have that on the slide, Ben?
So for what I'm seeing, those are not on the slide as we speak. But basically, what, like you have mentioned in the past, in the previous slides, what you'll be required to provide are any of these documents, right? You're providing either of your passport, your international, your driver's license, or government-issued ID cards. Any of those would suffice for the process of completing KYC. And then the next and important point is to have, a selfie breakdown ready, where you're going to do a selfie to identify that, okay, the person I have uploaded, the documents I've uploaded are actually mine, right? You're just going to send a selfie of a headshot image, and sometimes you might be required to just hold the passport or the documents you're registering with, and that is when you have issues. Maybe you've tried severally and it's not working. You can chat to support live, and they'll give you a secondary mode of verification where they'll ask you hold your ID card, alongside you, just close to your face, and then try again. right? So those are like the good ways, or those are like the simple steps to sign up and verify on Binance. I really appreciate you, Sewa, for giving us that very clear step-by-step description. And now, one of the things we look out for, guys, is we always try to make sure our new users are able to detect and avoid scams, right? We need you to be able to know these things for yourself, know them, and to be able to detect them whenever they come out, right? So there are always different ways, to look out for projects that are going to either, in the sense of the word, rock pool, or do not make sense at all, right? The first question you ask yourself if you're going to be jumping into any project is to find out who are the guys, that are the team lead at this project, right? So if you wanted to jump into Binance, you need to ask yourself, who is the founder of Binance? Who are the co-founders at Binance? What is the news around Binance recently? What's the history of Binance? What are the achievements? You need to know what's the underlying technology behind, the project. What are their long-term and short-term goals? These are things that will help you stay, clear of projects that are looking to just take your funds and, be on their way. You need to also know, you need to also check these kinds of projects and be sure that they are available on the major crypto exchanges. Some of the ways most people in the industry validate projects, I'm not saying it's the only way, but some of the ways available to validate projects are, where are these projects listed? Where are these tokens, listed? Are they listed on, legitimate exchanges, major exchanges in the space? Also, you want to look beyond the hype. There's always hype accompanying projects that are just coming out, or projects that have money to spend on market. So you want to look beyond, the hype around projects that are being shielded by influencers, blah, blah, blah. You want to be sure that, these guys actually have, a lot to offer and not just high yields. So you want to shy away from projects that have, high return rates and all of that. And then the final and, very important, ways to avoid being scammed is to invest what you can afford to part ways with, right? So if you something that is something you can afford to lose and you can move on with your life. Okay, so for P2P, I think from this, we would basically head on to the practical side of the conversation. Last week, we talked about P2P and everything and most of those products. This week, I want us to take a closer look at the Binance interface, right, as it were. So, trying to sign in. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the Binance interface. Hope this is going to load. Right, so when you sign up on Binance, or when you sign into Binance, hopefully this is, let me just refresh and be sure that this is going to load. When you sign into Binance, you are tasked with, figuring out all of these numbers, right? Numbers and designs and everything. You are confused as to what is actually going on here, right? And this is directed at people who are very new to the ecosystem. So one of the reasons for this conversation is to be able to show you that, what you can do at Binance, how to understand the different, items or features on the nav bar, how to navigate the Binance ecosystem in general. So first things first, once you get your accounts verified, you want to know how to deposit and withdraw your cryptocurrencies, right? The first thing you want to know how to do is come over to this point if you're using your desktop, to see options with which to deposit crypto or fiat. In this case, we are saying buy crypto with the currencies you select. In this case, buy crypto with euro. But since I'm not in Europe, I am in, somewhere in Nigeria, I'm going to toggle to buy crypto with NGN, right? So once I select that, I'll see the options available to buying crypto with NGN, right? And then you can move to buy crypto with CashLink, which is the product we are talking about, the product that is giving out some forms of crypto rewards to some forms of gift card rebates to anyone who buys crypto using Cashlink, right? So if you are looking to participate in that reward, I'm going to share the form again. Basically, buy crypto using Cashlink and stand the chance to get the cashback rewards. So 1 second as I share this again to everyone. So if you're just joining us, you want to be able to complete this form quickly before the call is over, and then complete the tasks on the form. So somebody's asking me a very important question: how to deposit the 5,000 naira. That is what we are going to right now. So once you go to buy crypto on your phone, you would see it as, if you go to your homepage on Binance, right, on your phone. I think for the next call, I'll look for a way to share my phone live on the screen. You would see it in the home section of your app, right? It shows you buy with NGN. That's what you'd see, right? So, but on your system, you see buy crypto with NGN using bank transfer. Once you click on bank transfer, it brings you to this screen. What you need to do is click on, oh, I'm not even logged in. Click on continue. But let me quickly log in, and we'll get back to sharing the screen. These things take a while. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay, we get the authentication code. Six, 2, 1, 3, 8, 3. Oops. We use email. One second, guys. I mean, while we're at it, there's several ways to secure your account, right? To keep your account secure. There's securing your account using Google Authenticator, securing your account using one-time password to your phone numbers, and then securing your account as well, using your email address, right? Oops. I think I signed in with the wrong address. So maybe Stephen, okay, Stephen just joined. Please share with us, different ways, how to secure your account using those 3 ways I've just mentioned while I go ahead and log in.
Let me try logging into. It seems I'm not logged in at the moment, so let me try. Okay.
Okay. So one of the easiest ways to secure your account is using your phone number, where anybody who actually looks or tries to get access to your account must have like your phone number, right? Because the verification code or access code would always be sent to your phone number, right? Okay, let me try the code again. 535769. And in fact, if you want to interact with the P2P product, you also have to have like your phone number up on the platform. All right, I think I'm in. Let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Okay, I think it's in now. So basically, we'll be showing you like few products you can play with, especially the ones you'd use to deposit cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies, and then the products and the features you'd use to withdraw them to your wallet addresses or to your what do you call it, wallet address or your bank account, right? So this is what your dashboard looks like once you sign into Binance, and then you can play with a lot of wallet addresses here. Guys, I told you we are going to keep this very brief. So under 1 hour, by 6 p.m. we should be done here. So stay tuned. So what you want to do is first, you want to understand the wallet system at Binance. The wallet system at Binance is so, self-explanatory. Now you have an overview wallet, right? Your overview wallet shows you the total amount of crypto and fiat assets that is available in your account at the time, right? The overview wallet shows you a sum total of all the monies you have, both in crypto or in cash or in fiat, right? The margin wallet handles every crypto or stable coin that you want to use to trade margin, right, on Binance. The futures wallet is to trade futures. So if you intend to trade futures, you must move funds from your fiat and spot wallet to your futures wallet and then engage futures trading, right? There's a rebalancing board. There's the options wallet as well to trade options, where you predict the direction per time, predict, that the price will stay up, for a minute, stay down for 2 minutes. And then there's funding wallet. This is where if you buy crypto on Binance P2P, you should see the crypto on funding wallets, right? Whereas if you buy crypto with cash link, you'd see your crypto in fiat and spot, right? So those are the different ways to find and to segment your wallets, right, at Binance. And then you have the Binance N, where if you're looking to take part in some staking activities at Binance, you can move funds to the N wallet, right? So that's basically how the wallet system is built on Binance. The next thing you want to look out for is the markets at Binance, right? If you go to markets at Binance, you see, like I was saying, a whole lot of numbers. Some of them are green, some of them are red. You don't know what they're actually saying. But basically, the product is being built to cater to these kinds of, queries to help you understand how to navigate. So if you can see, you'd see there's highlight coin. The highlight coins are the coins that are currently most looked at, the coins that are really, really making the trends in the market at present. And then you have new listings. New listings are like the category of coins that just recently made it to Binance Exchange. You want to check those new listings on Binance Exchange to see. Some people come on Binance to cash out of projects that they have been holding for a while. So, some people look out for when new tokens list on Binance and then come to Binance to either sell off their positions and all of that. So you want to look at new listings. You want to look at top gainer coins. Top gainer coins are the coins that are performing the most in the market per period, right? So let's assume on a 24-hour basis, what are the top coins in that market? And then you look at top volume coins. Top volume coins are the coins that are traded the most. So top gainers are the coins that are gaining in value of let's say they are gaining in value of the tokens. But top volume tokens are the ones that are being traded the most. So you would always see Bitcoin is most traded because it's the major cryptocurrency in the market. Ethereum is also most traded. You see a list of them once you open that bracket. So this is mostly called a market overview at Binance, right? You see the market overview at Binance. Yeah, so, and then you'd see, if you come down a little below, you'd see a further categorization of the cryptocurrencies that are available on Binance. And now the first is the favorites, right? If you have any particular token you are monitoring, let's say you were looking closely at new listings or top gainers, and then you happen to favorite it, you'll find it in the favorite section. You'll also find all cryptocurrencies in the market in this section. You find spot market tokens, currencies that are trading in the spot market. You find currencies that are or let's call them coins and tokens that are trading in the futures market, and also, like we said, the new listing. So these are like different ways. And then you can come here to search for any particular token you have in mind. 1 second. So let's assume we're going to look at Bitcoin. If you search for Bitcoin, you see all of the markets around Bitcoin. So you see Bitcoin, wrapped Bitcoin, Bitcoin down, Bitcoin up. Obviously, Bitcoin down and up are, tradable in options and futures market as well, right? So you see now, if you see, once you search, it categorizes all of the options available for you for that token. In this case, just 4 of those options on Bitcoin, right? So the other, ways to search the coin market at Binance. Here, you can also search for metaverse tokens. Metaverse tokens are tokens that are actually from the metaverse industry. Gaming tokens, you see metaverse, you can see Sandbox is one of the leading tokens in that industry. You'd see Mana, you see Axie Infinity, Smooth Love Portion. All of these tokens, this is just a categorization of the tokens available at Binance. You can also see gaming tokens also available. You'd see that in terms of trade volume, about $1.3 million traded on gaming tokens with a market cap of $4.1 million, right? So you see a lot is actually going on in that industry as well. There's a lot of trading activity in that industry. You see DeFi tokens, you see innovation zone, you see layer 1, layer 2, fan tokens, NFTs. NFTs are another good, way to categorize the storage here. So you see all of these tokens that have NFTs listed on the platform. So if you wanted to buy green metaverse token or the Gala NFT, you can also, buy those coins that are in NFT categories. You see Polkadot network, proof of stake, proof of work, categorization, launchpad and launch pool, very important. If you wanted to see coins that are in the launch, let's look at launchpad. A lot of people have some, difficulty understanding what exactly the launchpad is. So projects, that projects could get on Binance and look to list on Binance, right? There are some projects that are put through the launchpad, right? So to be a part of Binance launchpad, you have to basically stake some BNB to subscribe to owning a portion of the launchpad. And then when the launchpad is allocated, you get some tokens for that BNB you have staked. And then when the trading starts, you can easily trade off the tokens or hold to see whether you are going to the moon, right? So there are basically a lot of things you can do, the same as launch pool, the BNB chain infrastructure as well. So there are like different categorizations of the markets. That is all about the market. So the next thing you want to look out for is the trade options. I would allow Kazim to talk a little on Binance Convert, Binance P2P. Okay, those two. Let him talk on those two. So Kazim, I would open the Binance Convert option, and then you can just discuss quickly on how easy it is to use Binance Convert.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, so my name is Kazim, also known as Kaz Binance on Telegram. It's a pleasure being there. So basically, Binance Convert and Binance P2P are 2 different products. We'll take the Binance Convert first, which is almost an easy way for most times newbies or people that probably don't know how to really use spot market so much. And it's an easy way for you to exchange value between different assets, change from one asset to another. Now, this is the Binance Convert screen. So to access the Binance Convert, all you have to do if you're on web is to go to the trade on the tab on the navbar menu and click on Binance Convert. But if you're on mobile, immediately you are in the spot trading area. You look at the top left corner of the spot trading area. You can tap on convert there as well. It takes you to the Binance convert window. So for you to exchange from one asset to another, you have two options. As you can see at the middle top here, you can see the market and the limit. For you to exchange between an asset, just to use the market price, you use the market section. While if you are the type that probably follows the market price as the price of the asset moves, then you want to probably set the price of the asset when you want your conversion to take effect. Let's say probably BNB is currently trading at 287 and you wish to convert your asset. You wish to convert your asset at probably when it gets to 300, then you want to use limit. But if you want to convert your asset immediately using the current market price, so this is where you do it. So you just select the asset that you are exchanging, which is BNB in this case, and you also have the liberty to choose the asset you want to exchange to. In this instance, we're exchanging to BUSD, which you can also just type in the search bar and search for any asset you want to exchange to. So what you do next is just to enter the amount of the asset you want to exchange. Then you tap on the preview conversion. While tapping on preview conversion, it takes you to this pop-up and gives you the current price and the exchange value that you're probably going to get. In this instance, you're going to get 287.18 BUSD if you convert within the time frame, because at certain point in time, it also refreshes the price, and there is no fees attached to use Binance Convert, unlike the fees attached when you're using spot market. So when you are okay with what is displayed to you, you click on continue, or you can also refresh it since the time has already elapsed for you to make your conversion at that time. So that is as easy as that. And like I said, if you want to set the price at which you want to make a conversion, you tap on the limit. Now, so what are some of the frequently asked questions when you want to use Binance Convert? Are there any fees attached? There is no fee attached at all. There are zero fees for you to use Binance Convert. So if you want to exchange from your BTC to BUSD, or you want to exchange to BNB, you don't have to worry about any trading fees at all if you're using Binance Convert. And also you have, the only requirement you need is for you to have the asset you want to exchange if you're using Binance Convert. And all you have to do is make sure you have your asset, you have enough assets. And one of the benefits of Binance Convert is that there is actually you can convert as low as 5 BUSD, or even I think lower than that on Binance Convert. On that, yeah. So on Binance Convert, so it's very easy for you to use as a newbie if you're probably not you've not gotten a hang of the spot market and how to trade with limit trading on Binance on spot market. So let's look at P2P. As P2P is just the short form. Now, the easiest way for you to access P2P, you can also go to p2p.binance.com or go to the navbar, tap on trade, then click on P2P right there, which is also accessible on your Binance app homepage. When you on the Binance app homepage, there is a P2P by there, or you see something like buy crypto with Naira, and you can tap on it. It takes to the P2P market fast. But if you're on web, you can just go to p2p.binance.com. P2P stands simply for peer-to-peer. You exchange value between individuals. You have fiat currency, and your fiat currency is simply your local currency of probably where you are based. Let's assume I'm in Nigeria. So I have Nigerian Naira as my fiat currency, which I want to exchange into a crypto asset. So I come to Binance P2P. I want to purchase USDT. You are presented with a list of merchants. Both verified, and also you have the regular users as well. So if you probably want to deal with anybody on Binance P2P, we always recommend to deal with verified merchants. But it doesn't stop you to trade with regular users as well, which you can also filter. You have the functionality there for you to filter the list of merchants you want to see, and you have all the filter there at the top of the screen. So the first thing you want to do, you want to trade. Okay, you check on the assets. There are specific conditions that each merchant set, which you can see directly there. For instance, the first person on this list is Andy. You can see the number of orders that particular merchant has completed and their percentage rate completion. And before you proceed, you want to be sure that you are trading in the correct currency. I'm holding the Nigerian Naira. So definitely I want to see adverts in Nigerian Naira. So you're also free to change between currencies. Mind you, there are probably some currencies that will be restricted to you if you are not in a particular location, which is just to protect you as users. So you see the merchant, you see their completed order, their order completion rate. For this person, they has a 97.2% completion rate in the last 30 days. And that's a very good one. So you see their set price and also the quantity of the asset they have left. And also they have a limit that they want to set. Particular merchants could set as low as 5,000 Naira for you to buy from them. And some could go as high as 1 million Naira. So you know what you want to buy. So you choose a merchant that appeal to what you want to buy, that has the necessary information that you need. And what you do next is to tap on that particular merchant or tap on that particular P2P advert. One thing you have to also take note as before you tap on any advert is to be sure that the payment method you want to pay with is accepted by that particular merchant, which is also listed there. You have the merchant that accept bank transfer. Some also accept other forms of payment method, because on Binance P2P, we have hundreds of payment methods available on Binance P2P, which you can select from. Whatever payment method is easier for you, that you think it's very fast and would easily get to the Binance merchant. So you can just tap on the all payments button. You have a drop down for you to select from bank transfers or even select specific bank in your locality. So you tap on the P2P advert. When you tap on the P2P advert, let's take, for instance, let's tap on one of the adverts, Ben. So you are ready to make your trade. You want to buy from a particular merchant. So you tap on the advert, you see more details about the advert and also some of the terms and conditions set by any merchant. It is always good for you to read the terms and conditions even before you proceed, so you don't get, you don't have any issue with anybody along the line. So the next thing you want to do is you tap it, you enter into the amount you are willing to pay, and immediately, automatically, you are presented with the amount you're going to receive. You can also do it vice versa. If you know the amount you want to receive, but you probably don't know the amount is going to cost, you can enter the amount you want to receive. Let's say you want to buy 55 USDT. Automatically, it tells you the amount you need to pay in your fiat currency. So the next thing you want to do is tap on buy USDT. So when you buy USDT in this instance, you tap on buy USDT. The next step is for you to make payment to this particular verified particular merchant. Okay, we are not able to buy 55 USDT with that.
No. It's my, let's try again.
Okay. So when you tap on buy USDT, it should present you with more details, especially, okay, provide services.
So I think my VPN was turned on. That's why we cannot access the buy.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it's actually very simple. You tap on buy USDT, you are presented with your order summary. Your order summary, the amount you're buying, the amount you are expected to pay, and the payment method that the merchant has already set to receive their payments. So you have to now go through that, copy out the payment information, then make the payments from your payment app. Let's say you want to use bank transfer. So you'll be presented with the bank details of the merchant. Copy out the account number. Make sure you are copying the correct information, check the bank name, and make sure the payment information is the same as the merchant's name on Binance. These are some of the things that causes issues. So you don't want to pay into an account that doesn't bear the same name as the information. Every information is there for you to look at so that you don't make wrong payments. You make sure the Binance name, the account on the account name on Binance, the same thing as the bank name you are paying into. If you notice any discrepancy, it is very advisable for you to not go ahead with such payments. All right. So when you make your payment, make the transfer, you're sure you've made your payment, the next thing is for you to come back to that particular order and tap on a particular button, a yellow button there, which you have transferred next. So it's the same thing as you saying that I have made payment, I've transferred this money. Tap on that, then the merchant is also notified. They are notified immediately that a payment has been made for their order, for their one of their adverts. So they receive a notification for them to check and confirm the payment in order to release your assets to you.
Mm. So sorry, guys, I couldn't work with him as he's explaining because I have an IP setup issue. But basically, what he has said are very simple to find. And the key, to using Binance is look out for the yellow button. Look out for the next yellow button. That's like your prompt to get into the next phase. He mentioned something around, the merchants available. The ones with the badges are verified merchants with high trading volume, right? They like to trade big volumes. The ones without badges are not verified, but they are Binance users that are also verified users. So the verified merchants right now have staked at least 1,000 BUSD with Binance before they are even given that badge right now. Right, but if you don't want to stake 1,000 BUSD on the Binance P2P platform, you can always trade as a normal or a regular trader on the application. I think that basically sums up P2P. Maybe one feature to look out. The other feature to look out for on P2P is the Express feature. So P2P wants to make it easy for our trade users as well. If you are a new user to Binance and you don't want to deal with the hassles around, manually selecting your trades, you can use the Binance Express feature on Binance P2P, where you just have to select the amount you wish to pay, and you'd see the amount you get to receive, and somebody is automatically matched to you to complete transaction with. So whoever is going to be matched to you is a verified merchant. So that is the essence of the Express system as well. And also there are zero fees attached to it. When you look at this estimated price, you would see the reference price on the trading system. So this is like the best possible price you can buy 1,000 naira worth of crypto. This is like the best possible price. Let's watch this price. Let's see if it will change when I change the amount I want to buy. Let's see if I increase another zero, it doesn't change. So this is basically the best possible price on the market, on the P2P market right now. Thank you so much, Kazim, because I know there's a whole lot we can talk about P2P, but it's best to start and then you will see that the process is very easy to use. One of the things you want to know how to do is do not release your order until you have verified that you have gotten your funds. If you're selling your crypto, you don't release your order, but if you're buying crypto, immediately you make payments from your bank or from any channel you're using, or go to the Binance P2P platform and click on the I have made payments. Right? Once you click on that, the escrow system is notified, and then we wait on the seller to confirm receipt of payment. That's basically how P2P works. Once you come on the platform, you see a lot of ways, a lot of resources, Binance on the Binance P2P blog that you can also leverage. All right. So I'll give Stephen 5 minutes to talk on the Binance Spot Exchange, right? Talk a bit on the Binance Spot Exchange. What are the key features you think as new users we should look out for on this exchange? I'll work alongside you. Just give us what you think we can do. Don't waste too much time and don't spend time on the most difficult details. Steven, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me now? Sorry, I was on mute.
Yes,
So yeah, glad to be here. So the Binance Spot interface helps you, buy, and sell cryptocurrencies on the spot market, okay, on Binance. So here you have the BTC USD, but where you actually see the mouse is actually where you can actually search for, the cryptocurrency of your choice, the cryptocurrency you want to buy or sell. If you click that, it's going to, load the page, for that cryptocurrency, okay? And now let's go to the left-hand side. I'm just going to walk you through. By the way, on the top banner, where you have the details about the cryptocurrencies, the name, the name of the pair, the price, the day change, and all that, the volumes, and all that. Okay. So below that is where you have, the order book. Okay. So you have like current orders in the markets being filled. So it's actually a way to see how the supply and demand dynamics actually affect price in real time. Okay. So now next to that, on the center is where you have the chart interface. Okay. So you can actually do your technical analysis, load any indicator of your choice. Okay. And for the experienced traders amongst you who would actually want to do some technical analysis before placing a trade. All right. So now after that, below is where you have this is where you can actually execute the trade. Okay, so you can execute trades on the spot market, or using margin. That's the cross, where you see the cross traders, or isolated margin. But this is the spot trading interface. We're going to focus on the spot trading. So you have the price. Okay, this is where you impute the price at which that's if you want to. This is on the limit order. So limit orders are basically option for you to choose the point at which you want to buy the cryptocurrency. Okay, so let's say Bitcoin is currently at 19K, you want to buy at 18.5. You can impute that, and then impute the amount of Bitcoin you want to buy, and then it will automatically populate the total is going to be, and then you can place another. Now when you click buy BTC, it's going to open as an order below. Okay, because it's not yet been filled. You actually filled it yes, it's going to populate as an open order because it has not been filled yet. You actually set the price. So when price gets there, your order will be automatically filled. Okay. So the same thing happens with the sell. Okay, you can set your price, and then the amount of Bitcoin you want to buy, and populate, and then it creates sell. And the toggle you see there is, if you don't want to go through the hassle of just, manually imputing, you can use that toggle to, select the percentage. If you have, in this case, maybe you want to sell Bitcoin, okay, for USDT, you can toggle whether you want to sell 72% of Bitcoin or 50% or 10%. And then, it makes life easy, right? So it's a very, pretty good user interface. So now here's where you have the list of cryptocurrencies, okay? So the Binance, as you know, has a lot of cryptocurrencies options, across, various, pairs. Okay. So you should, find what you're looking for here. So I've also shown, the search button. If you want to make it faster, you can search for the cryptocurrency you're looking for. So now below that is where you have the, the trade page. Now the trade page is actually, where you have completed trades in the market being recorded. Okay. So remember, the order book is actually where we have, orders filled. But the trade page, this trade section actually shows orders are being filled in the market, at that point, also showing the amounts and the time and all that. Okay. So now below is where you have, I've already shown the order, the history. Yes. This is where you have the, okay, this is some, market activities in the market. So, but below that is where you have the history, the trade history. So you have your open orders, which I've explained, where you're going to see your open orders, maybe your limit orders or some orders that that haven't been filled. While your order history is actually the history of orders you have placed, both filled, any order at all you have actually filled at all, closed, open, is going to appear there. Now the trade history is where is going to show your completed trades. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much the spot trading interface. Is not that difficult, and with time you're going to get used to it. Okay, and it's pretty beginner friendly, and it's a very awesome user interface that gives everything you want all in one place. Okay, so I guess that is
you. Thank you so much, Stephen. I think Stephen did a very wonderful job in terms of a very quick review of the entirety of the sports page. One thing you should look out for is if you actually want to trade using sports, you should know how to set your candles. And setting candles has to do with understanding the candlestick patterns, right? So here you'd see, what do you call it? This is where you find different candlestick patterns. If you can go and do personal studies around the normal candlestick pattern and the Heikin-Hashi candlestick patterns, those two patterns are very good if you're looking to know the direction and trend of the market, and then you can easily also jump into the markets. So today we're not going to spend too much time giving you technical indicators, but I think next week we are going to focus a lot more on, taking practical steps to taking your first spot trade, understanding how the candlesticks work, understanding how to enter a trade, understand how to pick a signal and jump into a trading activity in relation to the time frames available here as well. We'll also show you how to select good indicators that you can play with. The Bollinger Band is one of the favorite indicators for new users. We'll give you the clear descriptive ways on how to use those indicators to try and enter trades. But nevertheless, like we always say, do not trade with what is bigger than your entire budget. Trade what you can afford to lose per time. All right, thank you so much, Stephen, for that explanation. I think because of time, this is where we want to draw the curtains. In subsequent editions, we'll continue on other features you want to explore. The Binance N feature is one solid place that whoever doesn't know how to trade should be playing with. If you don't know, if you're not interested in trading or you don't have any technical know-how on how to trade, you should look to engage in the Binance N feature, where you can store your BNB, you can buy BNB, store it in your BNB vault, and you can earn so many benefits. You can play with the Binance N feature, where you stake some of your cryptocurrencies and earn a reward at the end of a particular duration. There are so many opportunities in the Binance N system as well. And then we'd also be able to look at the NFT marketplace, the finance system. This is very, very important. In fact, this is where you'll be able to understand be able to claim the rewards we are giving out, the Binance gift card rewards we are giving out. You should be able to understand how to use Binance gift card and make a claim there. Binance Pay is one of the features you must know how to use if you are going to survive in the Binance ecosystem, because you send and you spend your cryptocurrencies without any hassle. You can use Binance Pay to book your boat ride as it stands today. You can use Binance Pay to pay for your PS5 subscription. You can use Binance Pay to pay for your recharge card subscription. There was a time I was, out there, I had to use, Binance Pay to buy data into my phone. There's so many things you can do with the Binance Pay system. Very good, because you can also receive, payments for your services, goods and services using Binance Pay. And it's a very secure and risk-free environment, because anybody that is automated or authorized to complete transactions at Binance Pay must have, a verified account, and then must not be dealing with any dirty cryptocurrencies or any fishy cryptocurrencies, because Binance Pay is built for people within the Binance ecosystem, right? So you can do a whole lot. You can become a merchant on Binance Pay. If you let's say you have a big restaurant, you have a big fashion store, and most of your customers are aware of cryptocurrencies, you can integrate a simple receive feature as a merchant on Binance Pay, simply either working with us closely to get this done, or just putting your Binance Pay barcode at the front desk, right? Print this out, put it on the front desk, and say, oh, if you want to pay me for my services, no problems, scan this, pay, send your proof to this number, and then we verify, and then you can take your goods. I mean, these are like easy ways to complete transactions, hassle-free. There are some other things we cannot say about it here, but I mean, if you do your research, you'll find the numerous opportunities that lie in that product. Let me check quickly to see if we have some questions. Somebody says, if I sell BNB, the credit will reflect. I mean, yes, you would see, you get paid directly to your bank. If you're talking about P2P, if you sell BNB, you'd see the credit directly in your bank. Okay. So what else is there to discuss? Let me see if there are any questions. I'm only seeing 3 questions. Buying through P2P has always been difficult for me. My problem with the P2P is the rate. It's here a lot higher. I wish there were other mediums of buying crypto through mobile money, like direct deposits. Take mind that I'm sensing you are in neighboring countries like Ghana. I'm not certain, but I mean, if you are interested in making purchases, there are other options available in P2P. Just select your payment method you'd like to receive payment through, and you get your assets at the best possible rate. So if you prefer mobile money, it's available on the Binance P2P platform as well. Somebody says, will I be eligible for the reward if I withdraw 5,000 instead of depositing? Actually, you are not going to be eligible for the reward if you withdraw 5,000. You should basically deposit and win. So once again, I'll pick the form. I'll pick the form and share with everyone again, just so that everybody has this form handy. Please complete this form. Do well to copy this form even before we jump off the call. Oops, I'm sending it to the backstage. Do well to complete this form, before you jump off the call, so that you can at least qualify to participate. It's only people who have access to this form that are able to participate per week, and only people who join the calls would see the forms. Any charges for setting up P2P ads? No, there are no charges for setting up ads. But however, if you want to set up ads beyond a particular amount, you must become a verified merchant, or you must complete some form of KYC, advanced verification, right? So there are no charges for setting up ads. And then if you're transacting on P2P, you do not need to pay any extra charges, right? So for those of you who are wondering how to complete a buy crypto with cash link, I already mentioned, go to cash link, deposit with cash link. On your mobile, you see it as buy crypto with NGN. So what you do is you click on continue, right? And then indicate the amount you wish to buy. You can buy with at least 1,000 Naira. Now, somebody will say, CashLink has fees, P2P doesn't have fees. But what you're doing is that you are buying Naira one-to-one on CashLink. It's just like a POS system where if you're withdrawing 5,000, you get to pay 100 Naira, right? So this particular system is basically we are buying Naira one-to-one. And the interesting part of it is when you go and compare the amount. So assuming you bought 1,000 Naira worth of NGN to your Binance platform, and you receive 850 Naira. The next thing you want to do is to go to the trade and go and try to trade NGN against USDT to see the amount you are actually going to get in dollars. Once you do that, you can now go back as well and try to transact with P2P and compare and contrast wherever is most favorable. But I mean, the idea is there are so many options for you to transact, for you to buy crypto or to buy NGN with, and we are making those options available to you. Once again, thank you so much to all of my team who have been on the call to support. I mean, I really appreciate you guys, Oshewa, Kazim, and Steven. Thank you so much for being on the call. We will do this sometime next week on Friday, and we hope to have a lot more persons to be a part of this conversation. From my side, I think it's okay. Thank you so much for being on the call. Have a great time. Have a great time. Bye-bye.